You looking at it. All right, all right. Welcome to the Neil's Appeal Show, podcast, television, studio, whatever you want to call it. Just welcome. We welcome my good friends Richard and Rhonda Robinson, like the Johnson Robinson. I almost went back.
Okay.
So look, what you say, Rhonda?
It's okay.
It's all right.
No, it's not. You're Robinson.
Sometimes.
Oh Lord, we starting already. Listen, we're gonna give our viewers a chance to share the link with their friends, and share with who needs to come on and join us tonight. So we're gonna give them just a couple of seconds to get loaded up and loaded on. We got our Facebook going, streaming, and we also streaming from the YouTube page. So y'all go to the Kelly Franklin Neil for Facebook, and then at the Neil Appeal Show for YouTube. Listen, we can't be long tonight. My friends, we getting older now. We they go to bed at 7 o'clock.
Right, we already over our bedtime. It's struggling.
They go to bed at 7 o'clock around here, y'all. So we ain't gonna be long tonight. But I just wanna come on, y'all, share right quick so we can jump on in and get started. We came on a little bit earlier so we could be respectful to their time and everything like that. So y'all be prepared tonight. Y'all get ready to hear Baltimore tonight, okay? I done been in Florida so long that when I call home, they say I'm country now because I don't really talk with the swag, the little how we talk. Swag. So y'all gonna hear stuff like Rhonda gonna say, yeah, so we've been married, and she's saying married, MARRIED, but we say married, like Mary J. Blige, Murray. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say hot dog, we say hot dog, right? So just don't be, stressing us about how we talk up in Baltimore. But y'all may hear something like she might say, and he didn't even kill. Kill is care, CARE.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to me.
But no, listen, when I first got to Florida, they was like, what you saying? Hot dog. They used to bother me so bad. And I guess I've been away so long, I done lost my Baltimore accent. But anyway, it probably come out back out tonight. Every time I talk to somebody from home, it normally come back out. So
no, it don't. Not at all.
I'm country Rhonda.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all, come on, let's get started. Tonight, we got Richard and Rhonda. And listen, tonight's episode is a little bit different because normally my viewers, they be knowing who my guests are, right? Because we all in the same circuit, either the preachers and the singers and all that type of stuff, right? So most everybody know everybody. But I needed to bring my childhood friends on tonight. And so I'm gonna give y'all a little context and a little history so y'all can understand my guest for tonight. Y'all don't know him. y'all, you don't need to know them to hear their story. Their story is amazing. It's amazing, an amazing story of love and resilience. So you don't have to know nobody to get some transformation and get some healing from it, right? So let me just start real quick. I'm gonna give y'all the quick context, and then I'm gonna let Rhonda and Richard take over. So I've actually
wait. I thought we was gonna play that game you play with everybody. Hold it. I'm gonna play the game first.
Hey, Miss Robinson, this is the Neil's appeal. All due respect, Rich.
Okay.
Getting out of line. She getting
I thought we
more.
was gonna play the game though.
Don't play the game.
what? Listen,
Okay.
I ain't had no new questions.
It's okay. We can just go ahead and.
Well, at least we know you watch the show, so that's
Right.
her fault. She don't.
I
you don't
know.
have that.
I forgot about
I was
everything.
getting my fingers ready.
I know, but everything been so like trauma and stuff lately.
I know.
Okay, you know them better than anybody,
I
so just come
know.
up with some stuff, you know.
So,
we can play the game.
Okay,
No,
let me.
it's okay.
I'm gonna give y'all a couple. Let me give y'all a couple.
Okay.
Well, I'm out the loop because I don't know what the game was we talking about.
You cool, Rich. I'm not gonna set you up.
So,
you good.
The game normally be like you know, it's most likely to, like, who's most likely to run late, and then y'all got point at each other quick.
Who is the most
whoever,
Yeah.
right? So I normally have my questions, but I ain't have. So yeah, Fred is right. I do know y'all. So let me just ask.
I was waiting for this all day.
So Rich, how it goes is you can't think long or don't think long. You just got to point right quick at who you think is the one to do whatever, right?
Gotcha.
So let me start with this one. Who's most likely to run late to everything? Rhonda, we can't see your hand. Okay. Who's most likely to run late to everything? Who's most likely to get mad at Okay. Who's most likely to be more romantic and sweet? Rich, that's you, Rich.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You romance, Mr. Romance.
Yeah.
Who's most likely to cuss out the teacher at Oh, me and Rhonda had the potty mouth, didn't we, boo?
Baby, I'm
Let me tell you
praying for the night.
Come on with it.
Roll with it.
Come on with it. Come on with
Um,
it. Rich looked like y'all homeboy tonight with his glasses on.
Who?
What's the cat's name? Drew Hill. What's the dude?
Oh, who?
Yeah.
Cisco?
No, not Cisco. Is it? No, not Cisco. What's the other
I
guy?
don't-
Woody?
Woody. You look like Woody with the glasses
He
on.
kind of
tonight.
giving.
Yeah.
He kind of giving Woody.
Yeah.
Y'all know. Y'all know that's how they from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know if our viewers knew. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Fred. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So look. All right, come on. Let's get started.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that enough for you to play the
That
game?
was
Most
enough.
likely to. Okay. So, like I was saying from the beginning, actually, me and Richard started out as friends first back in elementary school. We were best friends, and the reason why I mostly had male best friends because I was a funny looking little girl, right? I was funny looking, so wasn't no need of me trying to crush on no dudes or no boys because they probably was gonna crack on me or something. And y'all know Baltimore. If y'all know Baltimore is ruthless for the crack, and they will crack and make you cry or
yeah, you better come back or something.
Listen, let me tell you something. I would get back with them. Remember when I had that gap in my teeth?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
y'all was messing with me about, I could put a pencil in my teeth and the rings around my eyes and they crack, but I make some of them cry. Didn't I make them cry?
Yeah, you got them back.
Why? Because my brother Fuzz, my big brother Fuzz, he was the master cracker, boy. I learned from the best. So but yeah, like I said, it wasn't no need in me crushing on old boys because I was a little funny looking through little girl. So listen, so I hung with guys. So Richard and one of my other friends, our team, they were like my best friends, right? So me and Richard been friends since third grade. And I remember, as we got older, went to middle school, whatever, when girls would call Richard's house, see, I got the nice mama. All the other girls got, he ain't here. Call him back. No, he doing his homework. All the other girls. But for some reason, she just loved me. And maybe it was because she felt sorry for me. I don't know. I don't know, but your mama just loved me and took to me so well. And so I could call and she was, who is it? Oh, hey, Kelly. Hold on. Richard.
Yeah. We changed real quick.
But everybody else got because see, Richard, he was that light skin, had them pretty eyes. He had a little gold stuff and stuff. And all them girls was that your mama was like, no.
Yeah, she wasn't having it. She wasn't having it.
But for some reason, I could get through, couldn't I?
Yeah. You definitely could. And everybody would call you on a three-way.
Yes, trying to get Yeah. Don't tell her that, Rich. She might be mad at me for doing that. But anyway, so anyway, Rhonda comes along, right? And so people said Rhonda was funny looking too, is what they said. So me and Rhonda got along real good because we both was the two funny lookings. We was cute in our own way though, weren't we, Rhonda?
Yeah.
So anyway, we were, used to go to school together, and we were around the neighborhood. Rhonda didn't go to our elementary school with us, but we all went to middle school together. And then, there we have it. We were on the bus, and we're going to let Rhonda take it from here. So I gave y'all the history. These are my childhood friends. I actually am proud because I am the reason why Richard and Rhonda are together. And I'm just so happy and proud of that. And I'm also happy and proud that they are still together after all they have been through. Y'all about to hear it right here, right now, tonight. So whichever one of y'all, Rich and Ron, take it over. Oh, and they call her Screamy. That's her nickname.
Oh, really?
They call her Screamy. Her mom said when she was a baby, she screamed, but when she got older, she just talked loud. So y'all gonna hear that tonight too come out. So come on, Rick. Come on, Rich, Ron. Come on, whoever gonna take over. Tell us about yourselves, how long you've been married. Just give us a quick something before we get into.
Okay, we met in 1986 on the bus. Kelly introduced us. We were married in 2005, so April the 16th of this year made 20 years. 20 years. Over those 20 years, we have dealt with the death of my mom, dad, and brother in a matter of 6 years? His grandma passed. We dealt with suicide attempts, money issues, alcohol and opioid addictions, infidelity, and then sickness. One of us was sick. So over those 20 years, we have lived our vows out through sickness and in health.
Wow. So we're going to let you dive deep into. So in the beginning of my story, I start talking about Rich and Ron, but there was another young lady, Sylvia Tang. It was the three of us that all hung together, right? And so the irony in the fact that we were childhood friends, and when we turned 40, so Rhonda is a little bit 1 year older than Sylvia. Sylvia is 1 year older than me. We all turned 40. We all lost our moms at 40, right? So Rhonda went first. Rhonda's mom passed first. Then it was my mom, and then Sylvia's mom, right? Is that how the order went?
Yes.
But it was so crazy that the three of us, childhood friends, all lost our moms like back to back to back like that. So Rhonda, I think that might been the start of the spiral for you. So go ahead and tell us how you lost your whole family.
Yes.
And can you just take us through?
Yes, in 2012, I lost my mom. She had breast cancer. 6 months later, that was December of 2012. 6 months later, 2013, my brother, he passed away. He was at a restaurant with his wife and son, and died in a restaurant. Richard and I then moved with my dad after that. And in 2019, my father passed away. The irony of that story again is my father passed away. Sylvia's father passed away. Your father passed away. We each lost siblings in the same years. It was crazy. During that time, I had already started taking like sleeping pills because I just couldn't sleep, the anxiety. In 2014, January 11th of 2014, I overdosed from depression because, of course, with losing my entire family, it was only me, my brother, mother, and father. You know, I lost my entire bloodline. So, of course, losing my entire family, I dealt with grief, PTSD, depression. So it was lack of sleep. You know, it was just a lot of things. In 2014, I just had enough. I just wanted to go. And I just remember waking up at the hospital, and the first thing I said to myself is, dang, my mom didn't, and my dad was living at this time. My mom and my brother didn't want me. And here I am waking up, God didn't want me. You know, I didn't understand why I woke up, but it was for greater things, obviously. But the medication, the pills, I continued on the pills.
How did you even get started with the pills? Like,
I started with the pills probably in 05, 06 when we got married. I started with Tylenol PM because I couldn't sleep. Richard worked at night and I couldn't sleep at night without him right there. So, of course, eventually the Tylenol PM stopped working. So I would go to the doctors and they would give me, you know, something else to sleep with. Then it graduated to Lunesta, to Ambien. It got to the point I was going to two different doctors. One doctor was giving me Ambien, one was giving me Lunesta. I was taking them to two different pharmacies so I can get both of them. Eventually, they stopped working. I might have to take both of them at one time with the Tylenol PM and the melatonin. It got to the point where I was just in the bed all day. I don't want to go to work. When I was working, because I'm going to just take these pills. I can have 60 pills that's supposed to last 60 days. I might have had 20 days. I may have had 20 days.
So, Rich, what warning signs did you notice that Rhonda was like becoming dependent on these opioids, or did you start seeing what was the marriage affected? What give me something that you noticed or
sleep pattern. If you know my wife, she never sleeps. She's always on the go doing something. So when I'm going to, I mean, we're married, but I'm going to her family events, and they're asking, well, where's Screamy? I got to make up a lie saying that, she's sick, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And that started to take its toll on our marriage, because I'm like, that's not fair. I'm lying to these people. They welcome me with open arms, and I'm lying to them, you know, being deceitful, you know. So it was taking its toll. You know, in the meantime, it wasn't being effective. So it was just graduating. One time we went on vacation, and she screamed, and I'm like, what? Instead of giving her a 30-day supply, they gave her 100 pills. 100 pills. When I say we went on a 7-day trip, she may have came out the room. I went to the gym 3 days out the week, come out to eat breakfast. I'm on the beach by myself. I'll look up at the room. I'll see the blinds move. Her whole entire vacation was taking pills. So out of 107 days, she came back with 22, 24.
I have never seen Aruba yet. We went to Aruba.
Yeah. Like I was on vacation by myself. I was just like, okay, well, I ain't gonna go nearby because if and when she does come around, I want to be right there. I'm out on the beach.
I remember a time I sent Richard, when I ran out of pills, I sent him on a corner twice.
Outside on the Baltimore streets,
on the Baltimore streets.
The wire.
I didn't care what he got. Get me a pill. And he didn't want to, but I would cry. You got to get me a pill. I'm not going to sleep. And he would say, you do go to sleep. He said, you do go to sleep, but you wake up because you know you didn't take that pill. But in my head, I ain't go to sleep because I ain't take no pill. I really feel like even at that time, if somebody would have gave me a Tic Tac and they said it was a pill, I would have went to sleep because I took something. You know, that's how crazy it was. It was just, it had spiraled out of control.
Rhonda, this ain't funny. Stop making me laugh, okay?
No, it's not funny.
So listen, the grief, Rhonda, what was because you said, okay, you couldn't sleep. It was the grief that you think it was the grief.
So prior to the grief was, I just couldn't sleep because Richard wasn't there. But once my mom passed and then my brother passed that 6 months later, it was crazy. I can't even explain it. Like, I just couldn't deal with it.
She didn't be able to process or even grieve over one, and then another one just came back to back, and she didn't work for the first 11 years we got married. So she was the caretaker for the kids, my daughter, the nephews. So she was the volunteer, the stay-at-home mom, the real stay-at-home mom. So it took its toll, even trying to go to the school and be, tolerating the kids, still being, a little incoherent. But I'm still dealing with the death of my parents. I still didn't get no sleep last night, but I still got to take these kids to school. Just everything. It was just a whirlwind.
So how was that affecting your connection with Richard? Like he said, he was in Aruba by himself. Like you didn't feel like you were neglecting like him.
So when you're dependent upon something, honestly, Kelly, you are only worried about you and your habit. It was a habit. I just wanted to sleep. It was a habit. I just wanted to sleep. Like, I just felt like if I can just sleep. It wasn't even to feel that high to nod out, none of that. I just wanted to sleep and stay in that bed all day, all night. And yes, I know I neglected my husband. I know I neglected him. I wasn't available.
So, Rich, what did that drive you to, or what was your thing? What were you doing?
Drinking. And every now and again, popping a pill here and there, but drinking.
Oh, I ain't know about the pill.
My thing was smoking. But started getting off in the morning. I had a hard time sleeping as well. So I take me a little swig, all right, to kind of mellow me out. And then it just spiraled out of control. And I was a functioning alcoholic.
So when did you realize that it had become an addiction for you, and that both of y'all were actually addicted to something? Y'all were just coping through. Rhonda was screaming, was coping through pills. Rich, you was coping through alcohol. And the marriage was still intact.
It was still intact.
Can't say intact. It was just there. We weren't available for each other. I can't take nothing away from her. She can't take nothing away from me. We were selfish. She was thinking of herself and I was thinking of myself.
So come on, where did the self-awareness come in? How did we get to?
My self-awareness came in after my dad died. My dad died in January. That July, right before July, I'm gonna say July 1st, maybe, I quit my job. At that time I was working and I got my pills, but on my job I kept saying, Richard, these people messing with me. But no, I knew I was getting my pills and I was gonna call out. So I'm quitting my job. These people messing with me. And I laid in that bed July the 1st, maybe the 3rd, and I took all those pills. Still want to sleep. I took those pills, and I was maybe a couple days later, I was withdrawing because I didn't have any more pills. I took them all. And my dad came to me and he said, when the hell you going to stop taking them pills? Now, my dad is deceased. I was in the bed. Nobody was in this house. My dad is looking at me and talking to me as clear as I'm talking to you right now and said, when you going to stop them pills? I picked up my phone. I called Richard and said, Dad was just here. And he said, what you talking about? I said, he said, when I'm going to stop them pills, you need to come get me and take me to the hospital. He said, I'm on my way. It just took too long. And I was in and out. I got in the tub. And you know how far Good Sam is from here? Mm-hmm. Good Samaritan? Maybe about 10 minutes. It took me about 40 minutes to get to Good Sam because I drove myself. When I got there, I was shaking. And they thought I was having an allergic reaction. And I said, no, I'm withdrawing. They said, I said, so y'all, but here I go, still trying to get a pill though. Y'all need to give me something just to kind of mellow this out. They wouldn't give me anything. They just gave me, I think they gave me fluids. By the time Richard got there, we left my car because I just couldn't drive. I was shaking. So at this point, I think I went to the pharmacy. Did I go? I went to the pharmacy and I asked them to please refill my pills. Like, I know it's too soon, but can you see if you can get an override? They said no. Well, I tore the pharmacy up.
What do you mean you tore the pharmacy up?
Throwing everything off the shelves. That's why I'm shaking my head.
Like in the movies.
Yeah.
It was real.
Yeah.
And I went up to my therapist's office and saying, y'all need to write me a script for something. I got in there and carried on. Still trying to get this stuff, knowing what my father, came to me and said. Well, they sent me to a rehab. I went to the rehab. I did not even stay overnight.
Not even stay 3. By the time I got home, it was in Linthicum. By the time I got home, sat down for a couple minutes to try to regroup and process everything. She was calling me like, come get me. Yeah, I go right back out there to go get her.
So I went back to the therapist the next day and I told them, they said, well, we have to send you or we have to monitor you because you're coming off the pills. You can have seizures. And I said, well, I've been off the pills. That's why I'm already in withdrawal. I've been off the pills already for 5 days. At this point, I refused to take something else because they wanted to put me on there. And I'm like, if y'all want me off, the whole thing was you will come off after you stop dealing with your father because I dealt with him in the dementia. And the whole thing was we'll wean you off after. So I said, I refuse to take another pill. And they said, well, we tell you what. I said, what I'll do is I'll lay close to Richard in the bed so that if I have a seizure, it'll wake him up. And they said, well, we tell you what, you have to come to us every day for the next 2 weeks, get your blood pressure taken and everything. And that was it. It was my dad coming to me saying, when you gonna get off them pills? Because when he was living, he would come down the basement and I would just wake up because I had taken pills all day and he'd just be sitting there watching me. He wouldn't say nothing because if he says something, he gonna get yelled at, you know, or treated wrong or whatever, you know. So that's what it took for me. And I do want to go back to Richard saying he was selfish during that time, because he wasn't. Richard, let me tell you something. When I had to take care of my mom, I couldn't have asked for a better friend or better husband than Richard, because I might not have seen Richard for 2 and 3 days because I was at my mom's house, you know, when she was sick. And if I came home and just was like, I'm tired, he would say, you got to go around your mother's house. You need to go around there. Because if something happened and this happened and you don't see your mother, he's always been supportive. Even when my dad was sick, this man would get in the tub with my father, and Richard was fully clothed, but he would wash my father because he knew I didn't want to do that, you know? So he was definitely supportive in everything. When my brother died, he was supportive in everything. When I said, I'm going to bring my brother home and I'm going to take care of my brother, he said, whatever you want to do.
Wow.
So he was supportive, you know.
Wow. Wow. And I'm down in Florida. I don't know none of this going on.
Yeah, and he his alcoholism, I knew Richard drank, but I didn't know to what extent. And like I would go in his car, it was shorties, you know, the little short, all in the car door. It was any kind of alcohol, 99 cents. So you know that was turning him up. You know, look, it didn't matter. He didn't have one drink. Yeah. It was whatever he can get his hands on, all in the back of the car. And I would find it. So my stuff was better than his because I was better than him with my addiction because my doctor prescribed it for me.
Uh-huh.
So, that's what the argument was.
Yeah, that's what she thought.
Yeah, I was like, mine's better than yours because my doctor prescribed it for me. So my doctors know what I'm doing. You know.
But with mine's took a turning point when I burnt my pancreas out. I've been in the hospital 4 times for drinking alcohol. First time I had to call my father-in-law 2:00 in the morning and ask him, can he take me to the hospital? He started to ask me questions. I said, Dad, just come around the corner and I'll ask whatever questions you ask. He came around. I'm sitting on the curb outside. I'm telling him to run every red light to get to Union Memorial. Just get me to the hospital. And he did. Got there. My pancreas enzyme count was 15,000. For anybody that's listening or watching, your enzyme count's supposed to be 275 to 310. Mine was 15,000. The doctors and the nurses was like, I don't even know how you're walking, how you're doing whatever. I said, well, I have a high tolerance for pain, you know. So make a long story short, on my 4th time, I went, had the doctors come in, 6 or 7 of them. They said, once you get discharged, we're taking you to a rehab, you know, a 6-month facility. I can't leave my wife. I can't leave my daughter. You know, like what's going to happen to them? So I got on my hands and knees in Union Memorial Hospital and asked God, like, please, if you wipe this demon from me, I promise you I will never drink a day in my life. And I haven't touched a drink. I don't even look at things when I look at the menu, make sure it has no wine or whatever and gravy based. Like I take it serious because I know my next drink can be my last drink.
Mm.
You know, it was getting so bad where my daughter would call home and say, "Is Daddy going to be drinking this weekend?"
Mm.
I want to be the cool parent, but not knowing I'm hurting her.
Richard, so you think it was a failure on your part? Like, did you think you failed Rhonda, and like that's why she turned to? I mean, what were you thinking?
No. Her reasoning to turn into pills had nothing to do with me. My alcohol had nothing to do with her. Had no underlying issues. I just like to drink, and I drink to get drunk. And no sociable drink. I mean, we went to gatherings before with her girlfriends. I'm taking her girlfriends. We gonna go do double shots. We've been in Vegas. Anybody been to Vegas before? You know, you if you gamble, you drink for free. Babe, don't worry about it. I got it. I wake up the next day. She looking at me. I got alcohol poison. I'm tearing the room up because I done lost $500 that I thought, but I didn't put it in the machine.
At Vegas, he told me, "Don't spend your money, spend all mine." I said, "Okay." So that $500, I played the game. He told me to spend it. He woke up the next day. I said, "Well, you told me to spend it."
Wow. I'm glad y'all can laugh about it.
Yeah, we can laugh now, you know.
So was it a bunch of arguing? Come on,
No, it was not a bunch of arguing. It wasn't. It wasn't a lot of arguing. It wasn't like
we was just during that time we was just lifing.
Lifing.
What the saying is saying now. Just dealing and coping, but not being there for each other like we should have been. Alcohol was my friend and pills was her friend or her husband and my wife. You know, so it took its toll, but I'm glad we got it took us going to counseling and putting in work.
Oh, so you agreed to go to counseling?
Yeah.
Most men don't do that, Richard.
I know.
But the counseling came after the infidelity. The infidelity came before I got clean. Before my dad actually got sick, the infidelity came.
So come on, talk to us about that.
Well, the infidelity again goes back to I wasn't available. I'm not saying he did not have a right at all to do what he did, but I was not available mentally, physically for my husband. You know, I wanted to sleep. That was it. Everything goes back to I wanted to sleep. And as I went to therapy, it was depression. I was depressed. I lost my best friend. I lost my mother. That was my best friend. And I just didn't know how to cope. And then the next my brother. I didn't know how to cope. You know, so it just got out of hand and I just was not available to Richard.
Rich.
Yes.
What led you to the affair? And how did you justify it to yourself at the time? Was it because of what Rhonda's saying? She wasn't available. Was it? Look, come on, talk to us.
It was the devil. The alcohol made me think things that should have been that wasn't. And I wasn't making the best decisions as a husband. And the alcohol which was the devil, made me think the wrongs was right. So with my wife not being there and the devil's being like playing into the devil's hand. So giving me everything that my wife's not giving. Like they say, the grass is not greener on the other side. I had to find that out the hard way. Because who's sitting here still rocking and rolling with me?
Come on.
And we went to our pastor, and I remember we got to the church. I just called her. She don't live too far, and I said, I really need to talk to you. And she came to the church. And of course, I'm in the church fighting, and she got me in a basket hold at this point because I'm fighting them. And I'm just saying, I'm gone. I can't deal with this. And one thing she said to me, is there enough love in this marriage to make it work? And I said, it is. And she said, well, you got to work at it. So, of course, we went to another pastor for counseling. We didn't go to her. We went to someone we didn't know. And he was good. But he got it too.
He got what?
It. Cussed out. Because he was a man. And he said some things that, like one thing he said to me, because even when it was supposed to have stopped, Richard was still contacting this girl. And the girl would let me know. And he said, well, you know, when a person in a relationship, they can't just cut it off. He wasn't in a relationship. And I was like, you're a man. You know, so he got it sometimes too. You know, sometimes I might just sit there and just not say nothing, and he'll just be like, Richard, I don't think we're having this today. But he gave us some tools to work on our marriage, you know, on the issues. And I think at that time, I was still on the pills. At that time, I think it was the following year that I may have came off. My dad was still living, because I was taking Richard clothes outside to put them out the house. And every time I came back in, or go down and get another bag, and I come back up, the bags I took outside was in the living room. And I'm saying, well, how are these clothes getting back in? And my father bringing the clothes in, talking about he ain't going nowhere. But
So wait, hold. You was taking the clothes to the
car.
To the car.
Mm-hmm.
Turn your back to go get some more. Your dad done went outside to the car, brought the clothes back in.
And said he not going nowhere. But you know,
why was your father protecting Richard like that? What was that about?
Well, my father would ask me, was I mad at him? And I said, Daddy, why would I be mad at you? And he said, because I can't give you any advice. And I said, I didn't ask you. He said, because I did the same thing to your mother. Now, you know, he said, so I don't know how to tell you. You know, so I wasn't mad at my dad. This the thing. And I said this before, and I said it to Richard. Richard and I have been friends since 86. Our friendship.
Because of me.
Oh, okay, yeah, because of her. Our friendship means so much. If I knew that we could have separated and been divorced and kept that friendship, I probably would have. But then when I look at all the things that I've been through and how he stood near me, I can forgive him. You know what I mean? I can forgive him. Listen, I can't say I don't know, but I know some people would not have gone through some of the stuff that Richard and, let's just say, with my mother, taking care of her. That would have broke a marriage. You know, all the stuff we've been through, that would have broke a marriage. So I think what made us stay together, what made us fight through it, was our friendship, how long we knew each other. And for me, I know his heart. Richard is the kind, if you know him, he's the kindest person. The sweet, who else gonna put up with me, Callie? Who else?
So
But he's the kindest person.
he is. He is. And I was just about to ask you what made you choose forgiveness over walking away, but you just explained that. So my question, like, to the woman who has been betrayed, but is also self-aware enough to admit that she shut her spouse out, because that was huge what you just did, right? But you also said that still didn't justify, right?
Right.
But what would you say to her who what would you say?
Is it enough love in your marriage to make it work? I would say the same thing the pastor said to me. It sounds simple, but it's more love there than hate or anger. Like, I still love him. I don't know what I would do without him. I don't.
So how did y'all rebuild the trust, and what were some practical daily steps y'all have been taking that you both have taken on this? Like, is it like when Richard leaving the house or something, you saying something smart, like, sometimes we
Oh yeah, how you know?
Yeah, that's still
sometimes.
That's still, I think she got a tracking device on my car.
How you know?
No. Honestly, it's work. Like, to see her face, I don't want to say it like that.
Right.
So it was work.
The second pastor we went to, he gave us different exercises. One of them was a couple's journal. Okay. And we would write in the journal. He would write in the journal, and I would have to respond back. Right. And vice versa. Write our feelings in the journal, and we leave it somewhere and have to respond back. That was one. We the account. Remember, he was saying deposits into the account, negative and positive. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
It was just different little exercises, dating each other. But the first thing was we both had to get clean. That was it. And when my parents was living, I was the baby. My parents took care of me. So if Richard couldn't get it, I'll just call mommy or daddy. Can you get this? Because he might say, I'm going to get it, which he always did. But I wanted it right then and there. So I would go to them. So once they passed, I had to grow up. Here I am, 51, trying to grow up. Because I don't have mommy and daddy, and I have to fall on my husband. So that's another thing, that's just another thing.
Wow. So let's get to, we talked about coping with grief, right? We talked about conquering addiction and betrayal. Man, this topic was, man, y'all have covered what people silently, y'all are speaking for a nation right now, okay? Because it was pills, it was alcohol for you, but people be addicted to other things like food.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Other things though, seriously, y'all, and y'all coming on sharing y'all, like, because anybody can raise their hand and say, yeah, I'm addicted to food, but to come on here and say it was opioids, it was alcohol, that's huge. So I commend y'all for your courage, your transparency, your honesty. Let's talk about the in sickness and in health.
Okay.
Let's talk about that, because Richard got diagnosed. And I know your mind. I know you thought about mommy. You thought about Rodney. You thought about daddy. And now your husband. Come
So,
on.
what, 2 years? 2 years now?
Mhm.
Richard would get these belches, and the belches were, they smelled terrible. They would wake me out my sleep. So I'll say, Richard, you need to go see a doctor. Found a GI doctor. And when he went, of course, the belches stopped. We went away, we came back, and the belches came again. So the doctor told him, when you come, we're going to just take you in for endoscopy, which is the scope down your throat. So the doctor takes him in for the endoscopy, and the belches came from Richard having an ulcer. And what was happening was the ulcer was closed up, that when food would go down, it wouldn't go through to his stomach. And the food was sitting on top of that ulcer, rotting. So that smell that I was smelling was food in his stomach rotting. So the doctor said, well, you have an ulcer. He opened the ulcer, but he said, we're going to just take a sample of this just to make sure it's not cancer. I don't think it's cancer though. We'll call you next Wednesday, I think he said. This was on a Tuesday. This doctor called us Thursday, not the following week, 2 days later. Richard had stomach cancer, stage 2.
I was at work when I found out, and with my wife having the surgeries, normally she's the one going to the hospital. I'm taking care of her, or whatever the case may be. Never in a million years. I run a half marathon every week. Take care of myself, especially after the pancreatitis, and my daughter talking to me. Yeah, Dad, is as long as you drink water and everything, it can reverse itself. Oh, I'm on it. Don't worry about it, babe. I'm on it because I got things. I got a grandbaby to live for. So I'm on it. Never in a million years would I thought that it would happen. Who's going to take care of my daughter? Who's going to take care of my son? Who's going to take care of my wife? Who's going to take care of them? You know, had to fall on her. Had to, her and God. Because I couldn't have done it without them. Just start trying to stay positive on days that I didn't feel like it. And it was days that I didn't share with her because I know how her mind would play on her. I was just, I got to provide for my family. I got to do what I got to do.
So for me, when he was diagnosed, we were head to head during this time because, again, he never had surgery. Richard felt like he was Superman. And I'm trying to tell him, you need to do A, B, and C. You need to let me take care of you. And when I tell you we were arguing during this time, and he wanted to he was going to work. Like, he just didn't stop. And when we go to the doctors, he'll tell the doctors, oh, I've been vomiting, or, oh, I've been hurting. But when I'm asking you at home, you're not saying that. So we, head to head, again, during this time, we need to go see a counselor. We need to go to therapy. In therapy, we went to therapy again. This wasn't a pastor. I was holding stuff in because I was holding, damn, this the person I go to when my people sick. And I say sometimes, I don't want to take care of them right now, you know, and that's my rock. So now who's my rock? So I'm trying to act like I'm strong and I'm good, but I'm scared because everybody I took care of died. So now why, God, you taking my husband? You know, that in my head, that's where I'm at. Richard is and this is what we found out in therapy, because we just couldn't speak this to each other. You know, we needed that person, that mutual person. He's thinking, if I tell her this happening and this happening, she's going to cry. She's going to be upset. It's going to upset her. You know, so we both protecting each other during this time. So, but Richard is clean for 2 years. He actually just went yesterday, had a CAT scan. They called, said everything is good. It was stage 2. He had the surgery. He had the chemo.
Tell us about the surgery. Why he wanted to get the cut.
No, the first that's when he was going in the hospital with the pancreatitis. He said he got down on his knees and prayed and asked, you know, God to take that away from him. No, the doctors told him that they was going to cut his stomach open and remove the pancreas or do something to the pancreas. He would have to have surgery or whatever. He got tattoos all over his stomach. He didn't want them tattoos cut. He said it. They gonna cut my tattoos. I don't want them to mess up my tattoos.
Yeah. And they ended up cutting.
And they ended up cutting it anyway with the stomach cancer.
Yeah.
And we don't know. You can't say if the stomach cancer came from the alcohol or what. You can't pinpoint it. We guesses from it, but we don't know.
And this was about, the first episode probably was about 12 to 14 years ago. The first time we went to Jamaica, and we coming home on a flight eating seafood. So we thinking I'd have ate some bad seafood. We on a flight and I'm belching.
You burped that. You let that out on that flight, Richard.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. And we laughing because everybody, oh, what is that smell? What is that smell? You know, so didn't think nothing of it. Went to go pick up man from Jessica, which the dog had bit up Jessica's shoes. I belched in her house. She was like, what is that smell? A couple days later, it was gone. So that I thought it was the same thing, but no, it just kept on coming and repeating, just didn't know. Did not know.
And so, Rhonda, y'all told us on the pre-talk that the doctor left out the room to go.
Yeah, he left out the doctor. Left
you know
out
how when y'all, let me give the context right quick. You know how when the car broke and you take it to the mechanic, all the stuff that the car supposed to have been doing that's broke,
right?
Ain't doing it no more. So Richard was going to the doctor, and the belches wasn't coming. They didn't know why he was there. So he went untreated for a minute. So come on, fast forward to this doctor.
So then when I did go to this doctor, he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go out and give you a little examination. I'm gonna put this gown on. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come back in. Well, in the meantime, I belched. He came back in. He was like, what is that smell? I said, this is the smell that we've been we was like playing a cat and mouse game. And he's like, okay, that's what made him, okay, we're going to do a biopsy. I don't think it is, but we're going to check and see.
Man, that smell
even
dumpster juice.
Even I went to the dentist. The dentist he said, oh yeah, it might be a rotten tooth or something. I'm gonna give you something. Okay. Went away, came back. No, this is not it.
Morning kisses stop.
Rod screamed. It wasn't his breath.
It was coming from his mouth. I don't know what that was. We didn't know at the time what it was. Oh Lord. But yeah, we listen, these 20 years, we again, I said we was married on April the 16th, 20 years. We renewed our vows. 2 weeks ago. It was spontaneous. Someone called me. I'm not sure if she's on here, but Leslie, thank you. Because you know me, she called and said, I want to renew your vows. And I said, well, I got a plan. I got to plan this. And she said, no, you always planning stuff for your family. I just want to do this for y'all. Y'all been through so much. I just want to do this for y'all. And I said, okay. And we renewed our vows out front under this pink tree. I had on jeans. Richard had on sweatpants. It was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
And he kept asking me for our anniversary, what you want to do? And I said, I don't want to do nothing. We done did everything. And the reason why is because I just wanted to tell him, I had just been reflecting on everything we've been through in 20 years, saying, I got to watch my mouth, saying this on what we've been through would have broke some people down.
Most.
It would have broke most people down. And I needed to tell him, I just needed to reflect on that with him. So when she called and said, so I went out and I brought all these cards because not one card said everything I needed to say.
Mm-hmm.
I went out and I brought 5 cards. Them cards was $40 and still ain't say everything I needed to say. Anyway, when she said, I'm going to do this, I said, okay, I'm going to write my vows. We're going to, and my vows was 3 pages long. Because I needed to go from the beginning to the end. Well, to now.
Right now. Right.
Right now. And I just think it was pretty. It was beautiful. The wedding or the renewal was beautiful.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
Listen, y'all have been a blessing. I got one more, Rich. I got one question for you.
Okay.
When you was diagnosed with cancer, when I would talk to you on the phone, you was so in high spirits.
Yeah.
You was good. You was like, yep. So I'm going to my doctor today. I'm right.
Yeah.
But I just want to know, did fear ever come across you? Like this, like, did you think you weren't gonna make it?
Scared. Look, scared. I got a family to provide for. Scared. But one of us got to remain positive.
Right.
So a lot of times it's not the disease that kills you, it's just knowing. So whatever he had in store for me, I just had to take it and go with it. He's in control of this. I live every day like it's my last. Just keep on going. Because I got a purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah, and when you said you checking the menu, make sure you know how they cook sherry wine, put the sherry wine in the chicken.
I don't play now. Granted, we just went on vacation last year, and I told the lady, I said, I want a watermelon water. She was Hispanic or what have you, had alcohol in it. Kelly, I broke down. Ron was like, it's okay, because it was like I had to start my sobriety over. I didn't swallow it, but I had it in my mouth, and I'm like, and I spit it out. I take it serious. And it's not because it's because I had to do it, but it's also because I wanted to do it. Again, I have a purpose.
And his strength and dedication drives my strength and dedication. So, like, I've had a few surgeries, and the one thing I tell them is don't give me any pain medicines. Yeah. Give me Tylenol, extra strength. So, like, I've had a few things done after the pill popping or whatever. I had some things, done. And when I come out, I just say, don't give me no pain medicine. So I just take Tylenol extra strength.
I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all.
Well, I have one question. When was he calling you, telling you he was going to chemo and stuff? Where was I at?
He was my best friend first screen. You forgot.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they had a party for his celebration of getting rid of the cancer. Y'all had family and friends over. I was trying to make it. Wasn't afraid. I was really trying, but I'm just so proud of y'all. I'm so happy for y'all. I'm so happy y'all understand that marriage is love everywhere, all over it, and that you were willing to work to keep it and understanding one another, even if when you don't understand one another, y'all focus is y'all know how y'all even still here today and still making it. I know y'all's faith has helped y'all. It was affected at one point in time, just like mine was when my mama passed away and everything. And y'all have just been holding strong, and I'm just so proud of y'all. Fred, you got something you want to say?
I'm just still astonished by, I mean, I just have a newfound respect for y'all, you know what I'm saying? And if something was to happen or what have that went down, I don't do social media. I don't have Facebook. I don't have none of that. So I mean, if there were any signs of whatever you guys spoke with us in the pre meeting that we had or whatever, I'm still just kind of blown away, and to come on this live session like this and share with people. I mean, that's big of y'all, so like you said, though, if you help one person, you've helped a person, you know what I mean?
Right.
Let alone a couple, you help a person. I mean, for y'all to go through what you've been through, I mean, nothing but God. I mean, there's no way, shape, form, or fashion around it or what have you. So I mean,
and I'm so proud of my friend who said, self-awareness, like most women, even when if the husband does step out, they won't admit to any lack or anything that they have done or to cause or could be the part of the reason or whatever. And so that's huge, friend. I'm proud of you. You grew up.
Girl, I tried. Listen, I'm glad we did this because remember we were on the phone with our team last week, and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna watch y'all. Y'all the perfect couple." I don't like when people say that because they don't know, and all they have to do is talk to me because I'm gonna tell you, like I'm straight up. You're gonna know it all. We not perfect.
It was a dorm. It was what's the word when they?
Well, it's kind of hard to take it, to go through the things that y'all been through or whatever. But nobody, no couple, no individuals are perfect. So I mean,
but that's what we get a lot, and
right.
It's we get that, or we striving to be like y'all. Like they don't know.
That's a good thing.
That's a real good
That's
thing.
a good thing.
But it's a lot of work. Y'all
it's a lot of work.
It's a whole lot of work.
I just, I'm transparent. Like I'm glad we did this.
Right.
It's good. I want to go to the chat and read some of the chat, and then we going in with the Neil's appeal, what we want these couples to work on that may be struggling with anything, or couples. We got some wives that's probably been begging their husbands, can we go to therapy? Can we go to therapy? And black men be like, we don't talk, or most men, it ain't even a black thing. It's like most men feel like if you go to therapy, then you failed, or if you've neglected something, and they don't like to admit that. So we're going to leave them with the Neil's appeal for the week. But I just want to get this encouragement out to y'all from this chat. So we got, and y'all probably don't know half of these people, but just listen to the encouragement.
Thank you.
So my friend Stephanie said, Jesus, it must have been something you said, Rhonda or Richard, that made her say that. Ira Booker says, this is real. Two selfish people in a marriage. Wow. Amen. Because y'all said that. She ain't saying that. Y'all said that. Thank you for your candidness. Been there too, through alcohol and crack addiction with second husband who finally got his life together in 25 years clean and sober and serving God before he passed. Wow, that's from Sister Sandra who just lost her husband. I don't even think it's been 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss.
Yes, she's been on here like faithfully supporting us. Hey, Sister Keaton, Sarah Keaton watching. We got so it says Stanley Cromartie, Coach Cromartie. It says Neil Appeal, awesome. And I can't see that emoji. That was for us. Sometimes we get some too, and I read some for us.
Okay.
Encouragement for me to keep going. You follow? Powerful question. Is there enough love in this marriage to make it work?
Yes.
Powerful question. When they start tweeting back, writing back what you said, honey, you hope somebody. Denise was speaking. Hey, Denise. Ira again said thank you. Rejoicing with you off the cancer and the addiction and the conquering and all that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Loving on both sides of the vows, fighting for each other. You know what she mean when she said that? Loving on both sides of the vows in sickness and in health.
Yeah.
Loving on both sides in sickness when he was sick and you had to smell them burps.
Yeah. He wasn't getting no morning kisses.
You're crazy, Rhonda. I can't scroll no more. Why is this doing this? I can't read no more. Y'all gonna have to go in the chat and just thank my people and stuff when you get a chance. It won't scroll up for me. I don't know what's going on with my phone today, but something was going on with both of them. But y'all, they are encouraging y'all. They are saying thank you for your transparency. They are saying, wow, I can't believe you all shared this. Is so helpful. They are saying some things in here because, like I said, y'all speaking for a whole population with sharing your story like that. And so I'm grateful. Oh, Kena. Hey, Kena on YouTube. She says transparency and stick and stay at its best. Yes, it is. Norma Robinson. Who is that? Scream. You
That's
know
my girlfriend.
Hey, Norma.
That's my sister friends.
Hey, sister friend. She got some hearts and emojis and all that. And she must laugh out loud. She must be laughing at you when you said something, Screaming. I don't know.
Hey,
And then,
Kena. Hey, Norma.
And then Norma also says beautiful. And then Leslie Brown says beautiful couple.
That's
God.
the girl who did our renewal.
Nice.
Hey, Leslie.
Hey, Leslie. How are you? Oh, thank you. Beautiful. She did the yes in the sweatpants and stuff.
Yes.
I love it. I love it that y'all ain't do none of that, all that extravagant stuff, because that ain't even what matters. What matters is it enough? What's the question, Screaming? Is
love
it
in
enough
a marriage
love?
to make it work? Yeah.
So many of our friends are divorced and they not making it, y'all. They this whole new thing about
not even close to what y'all been through. You know what I'm saying? Just gave it up. I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we got this new culture thing. You do you, I'ma do me.
Right.
There ain't no God in none of that.
None of that.
Right.
You can't do you. You don't even know you.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah.
None of us have. We're still forming into who God made us to be. So what do you mean I'm doing me?
Yeah.
I don't get that. And so y'all have displayed true love. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. I'm so thankful to call y'all my friends. Rich, I love you, bro. I love you. Always have, always will. Thank you for putting up with me and let me.
Please say you love her.
Wait. Thank you for putting up with me and my big head. My head been this big when I was a little girl. So
That's okay.
I grew into my head. So
that's okay. I never seen none of y'all flaws, and I think that's what brought us close. I looked at y'all inside. You know, y'all was always beautiful.
He's
always.
so sweet.
Because Screamy, you didn't tell the bus joke. The person was cracking. You didn't tell the story of the bus joke the bus thing. When like how you.
Okay, you want me to tell it real quick?
On, yeah. Since you
all right. So we were on a bus, and it was this guy I liked on the bus, and Kelly. Well, not Kelly. I'm going to just talk on me. I had buck tooth.
You could tell about mine. I don't care.
I had buck teeth and I had rings around my eyes. So I liked this guy. And when I got on the bus, he just started cracking on me saying, how you going to like me? You ugly, you this, you that. And Richard is in the back of the bus. And when he's on the back of the bus, he's just laughing. Now, everybody on the bus at that point started talking about me. You was good because you was just sitting on the side. Ain't nobody bother you. They got me that day. And
I had my mouth closed. That's why they ain't bothering me.
But yeah, so Richard was on the back of the bus the whole time and he's laughing, but he did not say one word on that bus. All them boys on that back of that bus just got me. When I tell you I hated buses ever since then. So when we got off the bus, I asked you, who is the boy back there with the pretty eyes?
That's my
friend.
And
the only person that could call him, and I was like, let's call him. She was like, I can only call him. So Kelly was the only person who could call him. And that's how me and Richard met in 86. And so when we went to that first pastor, he said, tell me what's the first thing, or bring me something of the first thing that reminds you of your husband and Richard, his wife. And my thing was a picture of the bus.
Oh,
because it goes back to what I was saying earlier. He's such a sweet person. Yeah, you laughed, but you didn't say anything.
Right. He ain't jump in with the people and start cracking like everybody.
But he said he was laughing because he didn't want them to crack on him.
I didn't want them to beat me up. I was trying to get home. I'm like right along with y'all.
But I really enjoyed this.
Yeah. So
I really did. It was worth us staying up past 7.
I know, right? So come on, give my viewers the Neil's appeal. What is your appeal to couples going through overlapping storms like grief, addiction, betrayal, illness? What is your appeal? What are we appealing to the couples to do? Counseling work? Give us something.
I say counseling. Support each other.
Listen.
Watch out for certain signs. Look for that person who's sleeping. Look for that person who don't want to do anything. Look for things those are signs of depression. Listen to your person. When your person say, I don't feel right, I might feel like I want to kill myself. Listen to your person. Because
Rich, you used to say,
I would tell Richard, I would say to Richard, I feel like I want to kill myself. And he was like, man, if you wanted to kill yourself, you would have did it. You just talking, And I tried.
Right.
And I tried. But listen to your people.
Wow.
Counseling. Seek God. I'm not overly religious. I believe in God.
Yeah.
But I'm not overly religious or whatever. But I do believe without him.
Come on.
If I didn't have him, I wouldn't be here today.
Come on. You're going to make me cry, girl.
And I always tell Richard, because he sometimes cry and say what made him so special that he ain't died from this cancer. And I was like, because you got a testimony.
Right.
Mm.
And people keep telling him he going to be a pastor. Who going to be his wife?
Not the potty mouth, not the pastor potty mouth wife.
Hey, I did good tonight.
You did. I'm so proud of you. We're gonna let y'all go.
Thank you.
My mama in the gospel came back in. She said, keep telling your God story. And then she said, oh, overlapping storms, because y'all have definitely had them.
Yes, Lord.
Y'all, we love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Thank you so much. I got to play my outro. And then y'all stay on. I want to pray again and just thank y'all again. Then I'm going to let y'all go to bed. Okay.
Thank you.
I love y'all. Hold on.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night to the Robinsons.
All right.